I was with USAID. I was 18, and that had its issues as well.
USAID
is the U.S. Agency for International Development, based out of D.C. And even then, people were like, "Who's that kid, and why is he working here?" And so it was. I mean, as I said, and I think that kind of influences the work that you do. It's like, it shows that it's not only human capital alone, because I had a lot of human capital. It's the social aspects, and that plays a role in the job.
So there was like just a social mismatch.
It's social mismatch.
Different places until you really became a certain age. And it's become like socially acceptable. Oh, this guy's like in his 20s.
Then it becomes
normal.
It becomes more normalized. People can trust you more. I mean, they would trust you, but at a certain level, they can connect with you.
Tell me that story. You told me this story before about you went to this place, and then this person thought you were an intern, and it turns out you were like kind of their superior, right?
This was actually USAID. So I was hired, and I was in charge of the Hungary desk, which at the time Hungary was transitioning from a post-communist to a more market economy. So I was running the program there.
This was the 90s then?
This was the late 90s, yeah. And it was interesting because, on paper, I definitely look older and so forth. But the first day I go in, people are like, "Are you here for the internship?" It's like, no, I'm actually going to be your boss. You're your boss. It's nice to meet you. And it's funny because that happens often. It happened often anyways in my 20s.
Not anymore though, right?
Not as much. It gets manifested in a different way now. Now they think I'm a PhD student perhaps sometimes. I still get that. That
time, you were my examiner. Right? And then, but when you were there early, someone else thought you were a student. Even though there's no way you're not a TAM.
No, and it was something I would never forget. It's just you walk into the room and the person who you're co-examining with says, "Are you the student?" And you're just like, "No, I'm your co-examiner." But that still happens. I was just giving a talk a few weeks ago in Warsaw, and they thought I was a PhD student and I was not the speaker. So it still happens. On the one hand, you take it with grace that you still look young enough. On the other hand, you're like, well, at some point, I hope I can get physical respectability, shall I say. But it's on paper, as I said, I look like a 50 and 60-year-old.
But there's like, you're a fully tenured professor when you were like, what, 32?
In my 30s, early 30s.
In your early 30s, you became a fully tenured professor. And that's, in the social sciences, that's
usually happens in the 50s and the early 50s.
Like you said, in the hard sciences, sure.
Right.
In the social sciences,
it's very rare. It's extremely rare. And in certain countries, it's even rarer. It gets even older. So when they see you're a full professor, they look at you and it's like, how's that possible?
Right.
And again, they see it on paper, and they see on paper, it just there's a mismatch.